Hello, everyone. This is Richard Curtin with RationalBroadcasting.com, the 10% Dallas. I am here with Coco Peru. Hello, Coco. How are you?
I just have to acknowledge that we're filming this in a bathroom, and although it's disturbing, it's so appropriate.
I love the smell, and it really kind of goes back to Trick.
Oh, that's just my body odor after sweating through a whole show, darling. There's no smell in here.
Who is the prettiest redhead? Is it you? Is it Kathy Griffin? Or is the lead singer from Florence and the Machine?
I would say, since I have to work at it so much harder than they do, I'm probably the prettiest.
And in this new show, you are sporting a new red do.
Yes, I just said this is, the classic Coco look, but I decided this theme of the show is change, and I thought, well, why not really live that? So that's what I decided to do. And I get all sorts of responses from, I hate it too, I love it, so.
And what is the greatest change that you've experienced since you have been here the last show?
The greatest change that I experienced, I gotta say, getting older, and the fact that, like, my niece, who's 10, knows how to work a phone better than I do. Like, that's frightening to me. But it's, I always heard my mother talk about those things, about getting older, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And now it's just so true. And that's so cliche, but God, it's so true. And for those young folks out there, I hate you. No, I'm kidding.
Well, and also you are giving the message to embrace the change and embrace who you're becoming as you age.
I am. I think, well, really, what are your other options? But I have a great life, and I feel so lucky that for 20 years I've been able to do this, and that I still have these young people coming up to me and saying, they saw Trick when they were young, or Girls Will Be Girls is their favorite movie. So I feel really blessed. And this show was a way. I started feeling like I'm old. I don't have anything to say anymore. Really, I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this show, and then I just started writing, and I realized I actually had a lot to say. I thought I had a lot to say. I don't know what the audience thinks.
Well, we certainly have a lot to listen to. You're talking about the new generation, and what kind of advice would you give the new drag princesses coming up? You got started, really, with Act Up, doing your drag artistry. What is your advice for the new generation to get our president motivated, or how about getting our president evolved on gay issues, gay marriage, and gay rights?
Well, I think the most important thing to do, and I felt this from the very beginning, I feel like I'm preaching, but was that I came out, I decided to do drag, but I always really just demanded that I was going to be professional. I was always going to behave in public and, represent drag in a way that I felt I could go home with my head held high. And, I always respected my elders, my elder queens, and now I sort of demand that respect from the younger ones. And I think, if you really want to change the world, you have to first of all be out, and you also, like, my family were able to embrace me because I was. I just feel like I did it in a loving, wonderful way, even the way I approached drag, and therefore, my family not only embrace me, they celebrate me. And I think that's what we have to get the country to do. We realize the gay community is not just something like, oh, we accept you, but to really celebrate us, and to be wacky and crazy and not to give that up. I'm not saying to blend in, because that's the one thing I'm afraid of, is that if we try and assimilate too much, we'll lose our edge and what our real purpose to be here is. But I feel like gay people and the drag queens have a responsibility to carry on the legacy.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Long answer, but I'm.
The kids today.
I'm in a bathroom. Okay.
The kids today are really terribly entitled, and you talk about it in your new show. Where can we find more information about your tour?
On my website, I list everything, and people keep in touch with me on Facebook. You can join my email list on my website. That's the best way, because then you get personal emails from me letting you know where I'm going to be.
And tell us your email address.
It's MissCoco@MissCocoPeru.com. Can't be any easier.
MissCoco@MissCocoPeru.com. You're kicking off the 2011 Gay Pride Weekend. What are you most proud of? Is it that Michelle Bachman's husband has the lisp of a 4-year-old boy?
I think Michelle Bachman must have, like, an 8-inch cock or something to keep that man smiling like he does. Because that is just so bizarre. But you know, that's what's so freaky is like I can walk down the street, like I just walk through the hotel and people are staring at me like I'm the freak. But meanwhile, I'm looking at everyone else like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by freaks. And I think when you step outside the box, you really realize how everybody else is fucked up. Like, I'm fucked up, but I can at least own it and celebrate it. The rest of them are all hiding and pretending and this and that. So that's my other advice. You just got to be as wacky and beautiful as you can be and walk through a hotel with your head held high and then get an interview in a bathroom. Honey, life doesn't get much better than this. But I also want to say, Dallas, I love Dallas. And I've always had, I've been here twice. I have a great time here in Texas and great audiences and people come wanting to have a good time. So I thank Dallas for that as well.
And we thank you. This is Richard Curtin. I'm with RationalBroadcasting.com's to 10%. And this is Coco Peru. And you can find all of her information at MissCocoPeru.com. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Happy Gay Pride.